So I'm solving question 135, and the question asks to find the derivative of cosine x plus sine x squared in two ways to show that two different methods work. So to start off with, we can simplify or multiply out our function. So it would be cosine x plus sine x times cosine x plus sine x, and that would simplify to cosine squared x plus 2 cosine sine plus sine squared x. And when you simplify that, since cosine squared x plus sine squared x equals 1, you're left with 2 cosine x sine x plus 1. And a property to remember is cosine 2x is equal to cosine squared x minus sine squared x, which we are going to use later on. So the first way we can solve it is to use a power rule and the chain rule. So we can take our original function, the cosine x plus sine x squared, and so the power rule is basically you draw the exponent to the front, which is 2, and then multiply by the function. And since we have two terms that we can find the derivative of, that is when the chain rule comes in play. So the derivative of cosine is negative sine, and the derivative of sine is cosine. And to simplify that, you do 2 times, and you FOIL these two terms, and you get negative cosine x sine x plus cosine squared x plus negative sine squared x plus sine x cosine x. So the cosine x and the sine x and the sine x cosine x cancel out, and you're left with cosine squared x minus sine squared x times 2. And as we remember that our property, one of the cosine sine properties, is that cosine squared x minus sine squared x is equal to cosine 2x, and this is our answer. Another way you can solve it is to use the function that we simplified. So our original function multiplied out is 2 cosine x sine x plus 1, which is what we're going to use here. And then you can use the product rule and the chain rule. So the product rule states that the first term, which is 2 cosine x, times the derivative of the second. So the derivative of sine is cosine, plus the second term, sine x, times the derivative of the first, so negative 2 sine x would be the derivative of 2 cosine x. Then you get 2 cosine squared x minus sine squared x once you multiply them out. And you can factor out the 2, so you're left with cosine squared x minus sine squared x. And as you remember, our property, cosine squared x minus sine squared x is equal to cosine 2x. So as you can see, using the power rule and using the product rule and the chain rule, we get two different ways and the same answer.